Welcome to Day 4, How to Set Yourself Up for Success in Business. The Retail Solve Blueprint to teach you everything you need to know to confidently grow and scale your brand, build a connected community of loyal evangelists, and multiply your brand's impact, sales, and profits. If we're meeting for the first time, my name is Dan Lohman. I've had the privilege of mentoring and working with hundreds of brands, from pre-revenue to multi-billion dollars in sales. This is a culmination of the best strategies that are working today. I've spent years testing and perfecting them to save you valuable time and money while giving you the edge that you deserve. If you haven't done so yet, download the free 30 Days to Prosperity workbook at retailsolve.com 30-day workbook to give you the most out of this brand building series. And go back and listen to previous episodes in this masterclass so that you don't miss a thing. The strategies build upon each other in the order of the series. Please share these and help me raise the bar natural. I want to take a moment to recap the last episode. Surround yourself with experts and trusted advisors. First, we talked about building a solid foundation for your brand. Next, we talked about understanding your business, and then we talked about surrounding yourself with trusted advisors and experts. The point is to help give you the guidance to solve specific issues and problems in your business. The more effectively you follow the advice from my podcast guest and what we covered in the previous lessons, the easier it will be to avoid the problems in the first place. And that's what we're shooting for. Imagine being able to focus on growing your business rather than constantly dealing with major problems or putting out fires. The constant chaos can be exasperating and overwhelming, and it's a big reason why so many brands fail. This is why the series is called 30 Days to Prosperity. Setting yourself up for success is the focus of today's conversation. A good place to start is to identify what your goals and objectives are. Now, we'll go deeper into that tomorrow, but think of this in broad terms. This will help you when we begin to focus on strategic goal setting. A good example is Patagonia. Their messaging exudes focus and purpose. They set the bar high. Look at them as the example. Listen to Secrets 204 with Brigitte Cameron of Patagonia and Patagonia Provisions. Why regenerative organic is an important step towards saving our home planet, to get an appreciation of why this matters and how you can leverage it to your benefit. The point is, they do a phenomenal job of communicating their message throughout everything they do. More importantly, the spirit and the tone of the founder resonates in everything they talk about and all their products and in all their conversations. So what are the different areas your goals cover? Begin thinking about where you need to focus your efforts first, second, and third. This is an easy place to begin prioritizing your objectives. Focus is the key for this lesson. For example, you may first need to focus on growing sales in a specific account. You may first need to be thinking about which account has the best opportunity to grow your sales. What do you need to gain distribution in that account, and how do you work with that account? How do you prepare for that meeting? Next, you may need to focus on manufacturing to support the demand. In other words, how much product do you need to have available? How much product do you need to have in the pipeline? And how many ingredients do you need to have at the ready to support any promotions that you put in? After that, break your day down. How do you organize it? Where do you focus? In order to be effective, you need to make yourself a priority. Think about your mind, body, and soul. Think about the things that impact your ability to make decisions, your ability to focus. Exercising is one of the key things to reducing stress. So what do you do to exercise? How do you take care of yourself? How do you make yourself a priority? This is something that a lot of people skip when they get stressed or when they get overwhelmed. You need to make sure that that is a focus. You also want to make sure you eat right. Eating right is also a great way to reduce stress. And more importantly, if you eat improperly, then the excess carbs and the excess sugars that you may be taking in, processed foods, whatnot, they may contribute to your stress and your overwhelm. And you want to get enough rest. You want to make sure that you are at your best. A lot of people struggle to get a good night's rest when they've got a lot on their mind and when they're struggling. So the reason this matters so much is the more balance you have in your life, the easier it will be to get the good rest and to maintain the healthy mindset and the energy that you need to succeed. And that will give you more focus and help you avoid the distractions. There are a lot of people that recommend meditation. A lot of people recommend yoga. Find the thing that works for you. Find the thing that works best for you to help you remain focused so you don't let life's distractions get in the way. For me, I ride my bike. It resets me and it allows me to gain a fresh perspective anytime I'm struggling or if I find myself not being productive. Let me give you a really good example of why this matters and how this made a huge difference in my ability to support a client recently. I was working with a client that had an innovative product, but they were struggling. They were having a very difficult time of connecting with retailers and explaining to retailers why they needed to be on the shelf. They were looking for a strategy, an innovative strategy that would help differentiate them at shelf, and that's why they came to me. Well, this problem was exacerbated because the category that they were in was stale and dull, and the big players in this category continued to throw a lot of money at promotions, and that's how they drove sales. Well, this category is one of the most neglected categories in a store. In fact, a lot of times when you walk in the store, you'd find us on the shelf because people didn't shop it very often. In addition to that, you sometimes had to go on a scavenger hunt to find this category. Well, after spending hours and hours and hours looking at the data, trying to understand what the story was, I was struggling to figure out what the best story was and how to tell it. I was having a difficult time trying to differentiate the brand and come up with a unique strategy that would help them grow sales. So I jumped on my bike. Every day at lunchtime, I ride my bike and I try to ride over the spillway at Chatfield Reservoir. I live in Colorado. After a long ride, the idea finally came to me. I finally figured out exactly what I needed to do. I jumped back into the data and I realized that the data did not identify how their unique customers shop the category. Remember, this is my secret sauce if you've been listening to the podcast episodes and the webinars. So what I did is I resegmented the data around the way their unique customer shops, around their unique attributes that differentiate them in the category. That was the aha moment. From that point, I was able to develop a unique story that helped the brand reposition itself in the category and at retail. I was actually able to link this brand to center store sales as the gateway to help drive sales throughout the rest of the store. And more importantly, this was a healthy snack option. So it gave the retailer an opportunity to bring more customers into the store and to drive them to areas where they had the most profit. Produce section and the snack section. What was great about this strategy, after I had a chance to put it all together, because of this strategy, we were able to get an appointment with Kroger. And this strategy was instrumental in getting Kroger to say yes to their product and accepting it in 1,900 locations. Think of it. We were going to double the brand's sales by calling on one account. That's the power of focus. The ability to come up with fresh ideas that no one else has ever thought of. The ability to breathe life into a tired category that no one is paying attention to. Your energy and your mindset are all reflected in the business and your brand. I hope that story helps. I find that a lot of people that I talk to are in the same situation, or they'll find themselves staring at the computer for hours, struggling to figure out what the problem is, or where the problem is, or where that golden nugget is that can help change the trajectory of their brand. For additional inspiration, listen to podcast episode Secrets 133 with Whitney Lordenson, the Echo Vegan Girl, and Jason Warble with Wellevator. Brand health begins with your wellness. In this episode, they talk about how they focus on the entrepreneur. They talk about how they focus on your brand health and how they can leverage your brand health to improve your brand sales. They talk about some of the strategies that they use to help the many people that they support in their community. This is an episode you definitely want to check out. And by the way, they've got some really great programs if you're interested in taking their advice to the next step and beyond. There are links to their site and to that information on the podcast webpage. Next, you want to listen to Secrets 201, How to Explode Sales During a Pandemic, with Adam Hertel with Sales Summit Consulting. In this episode, we talk about focus. We talk about the advantage of bringing in an advisor who can add focus and clarity to a brand's message. The point being, this is a great example where you can leverage an outside expert to help your brand get focused and on track. And by doing that, it can help you drive incremental sales. It always makes sense to bring in an outside expert to help you identify opportunities that you overlook. You'll want to listen to Secrets 201. How to Explode Sales During a Pandemic. And next, I recommend that you listen to Secrets 197 with Eric Skay, How to Maximize the Real Value of Your Brand and Increase Sales. In this episode, Eric talks about what it means to be a master sales leader. The point is that because of Eric's ability to take a step back and look at the problem from a 30,000-foot view, from the high level, and understand what really needs to be done and how to focus the energy of the brand to solve that problem. This is an excellent episode because Eric is one of the best brand builders out there, and he paints a great example of how you can leverage this to help grow and scale your brand. Tip of the day: your energy and your persona are reflected in your brand and amplified through your messaging and your brand story. Set yourself up for success in business by making your health a priority. I've recorded the video which has illustrations and additional information that I can't share on the audio podcast. You'll want to check it out, and you can check out the accompanying video on the podcast webpage, and you can get there by going to brandsecretsandstrategies.com/session230. In tomorrow's show, we'll talk about how to develop strategic goals with accountability. This show will build on today's conversation. Thank you for listening, and I look forward to seeing you in the next episode.